I think that's a mystery, but I really think that I believe that easily. I think the songs probably got outdated, or they probably just felt like I could do better and just delete it. I could believe that. Now, V being hidden as a member, that's interesting. I wondered that too when I first saw it. When I first learned about it, watching the guides, and people were saying like V wasn't the last member, it was Jim, and I was like, okay, but if Jim was the last member, why would they hide him? Welcome back to the React Room. I'm your boy Don K. Back in here solo dolo again today. Sorry I had to take a day off yesterday, man. Not good. Can't be taking days off. We had some technical difficulties we had to deal with. But anyways, not to bore you with the details. It's a big packed week we got coming this week. We got a lot of performances. We got MMAs. We got mamas. We got all of that coming this week. But first order of business. Unsolved Mysteries of BTS. I didn't know they were unsolved mysteries. There are 7 unsolved mysteries. And you guys know I forgot who commented a while ago and told me to do this video. But I've been putting it off and I was like, man, it's Sunday. Let's not get to it today. So 7 unsolved mysteries from BTS. I believe they're unsolved mysteries. But you know I don't really know about them, but we're going to all learn today. I'm going to check out what Board got to say. 7 unsolved mysteries that keep everybody up at night. Let's see what they are. All right, here we go.
These are 7 BTS unsolved mysteries that I think about all the time and that keep me up at night. I think about them so much that I'm going to do some overthinking and thought experiments to try to come up with an answer. But of course, this will all just be speculation. Disclaimer, this is not a serious video essay about serious topics. These are trivial BTS unsolved mysteries that I'm trying to solve just for fun. Number 1. What happened to the Khalid collab?
I'm so excited to see you guys perform.
The first interaction the American singer Khalid had with BTS was at the 2017 American Music Awards. Then in 2019, they had another public interaction at the Billboard Music Awards. And Khalid also went to one of BTS's Rose Bowl concerts. Since then, they've been teasing a collaboration together.
There's definitely, talks of working on a collaboration. I feel like it would be awesome.
BTS and Khalid can drop like anytime, like just out of nowhere. Yes, it can. It can. It might. Who knows?
One collaboration that I feel very positive that's going to happen in the future that you've been teasing forever or talking about is BTS.
There's definitely been conversations.
Okay.
I would love to. It's all about finding that perfect song.
He obviously so excited about possibly collabing with you guys in the future. He said there's been conversations.
What I can say is it is really happening.
Okay, it is happening.
Not just a conversation.
Like 2019,
it is
maybe?
actually, maybe.
Yeah,
this
put a timestamp on
This is a big one. It's like, it's really happening.
What are some future collabs you guys are hoping to do?
Actually, I have to mention Khalid.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Our friend is really happening, so please stay tuned for our Khalid collaborations.
Despite all of this, the collaboration never came to light. Now, those are all the facts we could see as the audience, but let me put on my clown outfit and overanalyze some details. It's true that both BTS and Khalid talk about a collaboration together, but their word choices were different. BTS talked about the collaboration as confirmed.
It is really happening. Not just a conversation. It's really happening.
I have to mention Khalid is really happening.
And Namjoon even said to stay tuned for their Khalid collaborations, plural.
Please stay tuned for our Khalid collaborations.
If you're ARMY, you may know about the famous BTS swap deal contracts. If an artist is featured in a BTS song, then BTS will be featured in a song by the other artist. Not every collaboration is part of a swap deal, but since 2017, a lot of them are. So maybe that's why Namjoon said collaborations. On the other hand, Khalid was always mentioning talks of a collaboration.
There's definitely, talks. There's definitely been conversations.
Okay.
He said that, who knows, it might happen.
It can. It might. Who knows?
And to the BBC, he said he had strong feelings there will be progress and that something will arrive. Here's the key part. Khalid mentioned having to get to it, as if his part didn't exist yet.
I just gotta get to it, right?
But BTS's confidence in the collaboration, even saying that these are not just talks, but that it's actually happening, gives me the feeling that they already recorded something that is basically finished on their part, something that Khalid had to get to. That's why Khalid said to the BBC that he had strong feelings there will be progress. Progress of what? Of what BTS already started and is excited for.
This is a big one. It's like, it's really happening.
Remember that this is just a thought experiment and that I'm taking assumptions far on purpose. But if BTS talked about this song as if it was already recorded, then which song is it? If we assume that BTS ended up actually releasing the song, we have to look at the releases from the second half of 2019 and the first half of 2020. Some armies believe Khalid was supposed to be one of the featured artists in the BTS World soundtrack because they started hinting the collaboration in May and BTS World was out in June. Personally, I don't think this is the case. Dream Glow and All Night are songs I don't see Khalid being part of. A Brand New Day, maybe, but it doesn't really matter. By June 17th, 11 days before the release of the album, Khalid kept saying that he had to get to it. So whether it's any of these collaborations or Heartbeat or an unreleased song, I think 11 days is just not enough time. It also wouldn't make sense for the collab to be part of BTS World because in May, Namjoon doubted that the collaboration was going to be released by that year.
Like 2019,
It is
maybe?
actually, maybe.
Okay.
So I'm thinking November, December, or the next year. In any case, it's not BTS World, which was released only 1 month after Namjoon said this. What was released in late 2019 was Make It Right featuring Love. This would make so much sense because 1, this is Khalid's genre. 2, BTS already recorded and released their own version of the song in April, so it makes sense why they are so sure of the song's existence. 3, the Khalid collaborations Namjoon mentioned transformed into the Love collaborations. And 4, the dates fit. In an interview, Love said that he briefly met BTS during one of their Wembley concerts, which happened in June 1st and 2nd.
I met them for the first time at Wembley in London, and I got to see their show. Truth be told, I was kind of nervous to meet them, and they were super sweet, you know, very, very, very sweet. It was kind of brief.
Then, BTS asked him to feature in Make It Right while he was on his way out.
I met them once, and on the way out of meeting them, they were like, do you want to do this remix of our song, Make It Right?
So if BTS is already asking Love to feature in Make It Right, and Make It Right is the Khalid song, then it means BTS knew Khalid was not going to be the Make It Right feature artist anymore. This would make sense because BTS was sure of the collaboration in May, but they didn't say anything about it in June. The one who was asked about the collaboration in June was Khalid, but by that time, he was unsure it would happen. The BBC writes, not elaborating too much, he says he tries not to talk about the South Korean superstars, insisting he doesn't want to cramp their style. So maybe Khalid thought he was not the right fit for Make It Right. Now, if I take my clown outfit off, the most probable answer is that we never actually listened to the song. It just didn't work out. But because I want some closure, I'm going to pretend it's Make It Right. There is a third possibility that is another unsolved mystery in its own. Khalid's collab could have been part of a BTS album supposed to be released in late 2019. But what happened to that album? Number 2, what happened to Map of the Soul, Shadow?
Nah, that's crazy. I didn't even know Khalid was... You know what? That Make It Right collab would make sense. Because that sounds like the type of song that Khalid could be on. Matter of fact, it all makes sense. I don't know about the other one with the BTS where I don't know about that. But that would make sense. That would make it perfect timing. And that would be the song that I could, now that I think about it, of all the songs that's the song I could hear Khalid on the most. But I wonder why he didn't, if that's the case, not saying it's true, I wonder why he didn't do it. See, the thing about when you're dealing with these Western labels, a lot of these Western labels, man, they make it really difficult. I don't know, man, but that's crazy. I never even knew they were supposed to have a song together. That's crazy.
With the exception of a couple of studio albums, BTS has always released trilogies: the School Trilogy, the Youth Trilogy, the Love Yourself Trilogy. We also know BTS loves hinting the titles of future singles and albums. So when BTS finished their Love Yourself Trilogy, they started hinting the words Map of the Soul and Boy With Love. ARMYs immediately realized that there was a big possibility of BTS doing another trilogy based on the book Young's Map of the Soul, especially when Big Hit started selling this book on their website. ARMYs were then proven right because BTS released the album Map of the Soul Persona with the lead single Boy With Love. In the comeback trailer video for the song Intro Persona, the hints for the next two albums were pretty obvious. The three words that are together multiple times are persona, shadow, and ego. So that means that the album trilogy was going to be Map of the Soul Persona, Map of the Soul Shadow, and Map of the Soul Ego. I predicted the release date of Map of the Soul Shadow to be late 2019 because BTS always does this. They released the School Trilogy and the studio album. Then they toured this trilogy. Before the tour ends, they release the first album of the next trilogy, Youth. Then they complete and tour the Youth Trilogy. They release the studio album Wings and then they tour Wings. But again, right before the tour is about to end, they start the next trilogy, Love Yourself. Then they complete and tour the Love Yourself Trilogy. And again, right before the tour is about to end, they start the next trilogy, Map of the Soul. This means that when the Love Yourself tour finishes completely in October of 2019, the second album of the Map of the Soul trilogy would be released. This would make sense because right before the last two locations of the tour, there were 2 months with no planned activities. This may have been the time when they prepared, recorded, and filmed Map of the Soul Shadow and its music video. However, BTS announced that they were taking an extended period of rest. This vacation announcement gave them some trouble because the media reported this as an indefinite hiatus, aka breakup. Although they had concert dates planned, but that's besides the point. The mystery for me is BTS has had 1 month vacations before. So why are they officially announcing it now? Let me start with the real conspiracy theories now. What if BTS had this time scheduled to prepare Map of the Soul Shadow, but had to officially cancel all preparations with studios, producers, and music video directors? If they are canceling this entire project to take a real vacation, then it would make sense to make some kind of press release for this time of rest and not the others. But whatever the reason for the announcement, we waited for some months and then BTS released Map of the Soul 7, which combines the concepts of persona, shadow, and ego. If I am right, and this is not just a conspiracy theory, I would assume that Black Swan was supposed to be the lead single of Map of the Soul Shadow. Black Swan fits the shadow concept, and BTS didn't even prepare a music video because they were resting. The Black Swan music video we know now was filmed and released months after the release of the song because they randomly found a nice location. And we know that this music video was not planned because it's not even part of the comeback map. So BTS released Black Swan as a pre-release single with no music video. This is important because BTS has never released a pre-release single ever. My guess is that this was never supposed to be a pre-release single. I think Black Swan was supposed to be the lead single of Map of the Soul Shadow and On the lead single of Map of the Soul Ego. So if the project BTS was planning for late 2019 was Map of the Soul Shadow, then there is a very small possibility that the Khalid collab was for Black Swan.
2019
it is
maybe.
actually, maybe.
Black Swan is not 100% Khalid style, but I don't think it's impossible. I even think this would have worked better than On featuring Sia. But again, this may all just be a huge misunderstanding and BTS were always preparing Map of the Soul 7. Only they know the real answer. Number 3. Why does the BTS cover of Jungle really exist?
Map of the Soul Shadow, Map of the Soul Ego. I'm gonna roll with that just because, I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna roll with that just because they do release a lot of trilogies. That's tough. I can't say that. I'm gonna be honest. That's something you would only. Yeah, she right. You would have to. You would have to ask BTS. I don't think you could predict it. That's crazy. Now that I think about it. I wonder what Map of the Soul Shadow, Map of the Soul Ego. Ain't gonna lie, that's interesting.
But Back in January of 2021, a commercial for a very popular drink started airing in Indonesia. The song part of the commercial was a cover of the 2013 song Jungle by the band X Ambassadors. Indonesian ARMY realized that the singers were not the original singers. They sounded like BTS. Indonesian media then reported that the voices part of the commercial were BTS. Big Hit then confirmed this as well. And for what we can tell, the ones singing the song are the vocalists. The commercial aired in maybe 2 more countries, but the question that keeps me up at night is why? Why would the BTS members who are extremely busy record a cover for a commercial with no announcements or campaign, and that only aired in a couple of countries? I would understand if they took time to record the song to be the faces of the commercial, like they've always done, but why not attach their faces or their name to the ad? Why record a cover? Why are they using a 2013 song in a 2021 commercial? If BTS were not going to be the face of the ad or be mentioned at all, why not use the original singers or any other singer? Why spend what I'm guessing is a lot of money for the voices of BTS and not immediately announce it's BTS? Why did Big Hit confirm the rumors only when they had to, instead of announcing it and promoting it from the very beginning? Why Indonesia? I can't help but believe that a bigger partnership was in the talks, but it eventually didn't happen. Maybe by that time, the song was already recorded, so they agreed to use it in a random commercial that would only air in a couple of countries. That's why BTS or Big Hit didn't bother announcing or promoting this quote-unquote partnership. But who knows, maybe they did accept to be only the voices of a random commercial, but I really doubt it. Number 4. Who was the original feature artist in J-Hope's Chicken Noodle Soup? We all know and love J-Hope's 2019 song Chicken Noodle Soup featuring Becky G. This was a remake of the 2006 song by DJ Webstar and Young B. However, in a B-Live after the release of the song, J-Hope explained that he started working on Chicken Noodle Soup since 2017, and this was supposed to be a collaboration release in 2018 as part of his mixtape Hope World.
이 곡이 굉장히 오래됐어요. 이거를 준비한 지 꽤 됐어요. 이 곡이 제가 호버드 준비할 때 원래는 이 곡이 수록곡이었어요. 이 곡을 또 같이 하려고 했던 아티스트도 있었고, 근데 이렇게 좀 사정이 안 돼서 잠깐 이제 보류를 하고 뭔가 아쉬움을 남긴 채 호버드에게 발매를 하게 됐는데,
A year after the collaboration was cancelled, J-Hope connected with Becky G and started re-recording the song.
그래요, 맞아요. 여튼 그 전에 이미 빌보드 전에 이야기가 된 상태고, 그리고 그때 딱 만났어요. 그때 딱 만났고 인사하고.
However, Becky G was taking a little to send him her part, making J-Hope scared that yet another feature artist would make the collab not work out.
사실 조금 조마조마했었던 건 사실입니다. 이제 베키지가 보내줘야지 제가 거기에 맞춰서 이제 수정 녹음을 하고 하는데 베키지가 너무 바쁘더라고. 진짜 바쁘더라고. 그러면서 막 왜 안 오지? 왜 곡이 안 오는 게 이거 콜라보 성사 또 안 되는 건가? 이제 걱정을 한 거죠. 왜냐면 이제 호벌드 때도 또 이런 그 호벌드 때랑 똑같은 심정이 있었어요.
But she eventually did and everything went great. So my question is, who was the original feature artist of Chicken Noodle Soup? Let's put on our clown clothes. The original Chicken Noodle Soup is mainly performed by a female artist, and I cannot picture this song without a female voice. So let's say this was a female artist. I went back to interviews in America before Hope World was released. When asked which artists they would like to collaborate with, J-Hope mostly mentioned male rappers, with the exception of
Tinashe.
When these interviews happened, Tinashe was asked about collaborating with J-Hope or BTS, but it seems like there were no conversations yet.
Hey, I'm down. Send me a track. I'm holla.
Then, a lot of time passes by and J-Hope releases Hope World without Chicken Noodle Soup. After the release of the album, Tinashe is asked again about collaborating with J-Hope, but her answer is a little different.
Well, apparently you got fans in BTS.
Yeah.
What happened there? Like, explain the situation to me.
This gesture can still mean nothing because in the end she mentions again that she would love to collaborate with J-Hope.
I love doing stuff that's outside of the box. I don't like to just be in one zone all the time, so that'd be really fun, for sure.
Although my bet is that Tinashe was the original feature, maybe J-Hope didn't even mention the name of the artist in interviews. Maybe we really have no idea. This remains a mystery. Number 5. Where are Jungkook and Taeyeon's mixtapes? After J-Hope released his mixtape in 2018, Jungkook said he was the next member to release a mixtape.
Next mixtape, JK.
He kept being asked about it, so in April of 2019, Jungkook clarified he will practice his songwriting more before releasing anything.
그리고 제가 작년에 믹스테이프를 내겠다 말씀을 드렸었는데 진심으로 팬여러분들께 죄송하다는 말씀을 드리고 싶습니다. 제가 아직 혼자서 믹스테이프를 만들 수 있는 능력이 안 돼가지고요. 좀 더 열심히 연습을 하고 노력을 해서 좋은 모습을 보여드릴 수 있도록 노력하겠습니다.
5 months after this, Jungkook shares his demo for a song titled Decalcomania. Days after this, J-Hope says Jungkook is working on songs that will be out soon.
여러분들 여튼 우리 정국이도 곡이 나온다고 합니다. 자기가 하고 있다고 합니다.
And in an American interview, Jungkook said that he is re-recording everything.
녹음을 다 했거든요. 40대쯤을 근데 다시 처음부터 녹음.
Around that time, Namjoon asked Jungkook to release Decalcomania and the other 2 songs he's been working on, but we see no progress. This is until the pandemic starts, and not only Jungkook but also Taeyeon start talking about their mixtapes. First, Taeyeon shares on Twitter, "Although it's not complete, I thought I would have spoiled a bit of the music I'm working on. Please wait a bit more as you listen to this snippet." But this is not the only snippet. He shares a lot. Then BTS's album B is released, and we get a song from Jungkook's mixtape and a song from Taeyeon's mixtape. Jungkook said this about his song Stay. The song was originally meant to be on my mixtape, but after we heard it and then the other members all listened, they said it was better than the other song we were working on, and somehow Stay made it into the album.
스테이도 그렇고 스테이도 이제 믹스테이프로 준비 마지막 곡으로 이제 팬송으로 이제 내려고 했던 곡이니까 비 앨범이랑 너무 잘 맞아가지고 이제 자연스럽게 그렇게 된 거고.
Meanwhile, Taeyeon said this about his song Blue and Gray.
원래 이게 제 믹스테이프로 들어가려고 했었는데 멤버들도 그때 인더숲 저희 촬영할 때 회식할 때 다 같이 밥 먹을 때 이 노래 들었는데 이 노래 앨범에 넣어도 좋겠다 해서 그래서 급하게 이제 한국어를 이제 집에서 컴퓨터 켜서 이제
During the B promotions, Taeyeon said he wishes his mixtape will come out soon.
저 믹스테이프이 좀 빨리 나왔으면 좋겠어요.
그러게요. 저도 빨리 나왔으면 좋겠어요. 태영 씨.
But then he said he decided to put it on hold.
일단은 잠시 이제 중단을 했고요. 그래도 제가 어저께 곡을 하나 완성하긴 했는데 믹스테이프에 들어갈 것 같습니다. 13곡 정도.
13곡?을
작업했는데 거기에 추려서 8곡을.
In 2021, Taeyeon shares more demos. But in 2022, both Taeyeon and Jungkook say they deleted all of their songs. Because they were deleted, these mixtapes will never see the light of day. Unfortunately, the final result of these mixtapes will remain a mystery forever. Number 6. Why was V a hidden member?
6명 그룹일 줄 알았던 방탄이 7명이 그룹이 7명이라서
Before BTS's debut, the members introduced themselves to audiences on social media. But Taeyeon stayed a hidden member for a long time, and he was only revealed once the debut teaser pictures dropped. The answer assumed by many armies is simply marketing. Bang PD said in 2021, "We needed momentum to announce that the team called BTS was finally complete. V had great charms in terms of appearance and personality, so I thought it would be impactful when he was revealed last. It was an effective strategy in forming the team's overall image as well as leaving an impression of each member. So that's it, mystery solved." Unfortunately, I don't know why, but I'm not convinced. First of all, BTS doesn't have to give explanations for anything, but if they do, I believe them. I'm not demanding them to convince everyone with multiple reasons of why they do things. However, Taeyeon gave no explanation. I think he is just as confused as I am. Taeyeon told Rolling Stone, I actually can't understand it whatsoever. Why did they do that? Why was that the concept? I really had no idea. This is just my perception of things. I think the idea of having a hidden member to create hype for the debut of a group can only really work with groups from big companies because, in my opinion, the target audience of the hidden member strategy can only be company stans. For the addition of a new member to shock fans, there has to be fans, and pre-debut fans are mostly fans loyal to a K-pop company. But in 2013, no one cared about Big Hit or their future groups. The small group of fans who followed BTS since pre-debut became fans because of the members' presence on social media and the pre-debut songs they were releasing. And still, they were not many. So how could this small group of people create momentum? I believe that if the label really wanted to hype the group with a surprise member, they should have used some kind of secret weapon strategy. Simply showing a new face in the debut teaser pictures is not enough to create excitement. Taeyeon was a BTS trainee for years before being revealed. He spent Christmas and graduations with them. So if they used all these crazy measures to hide him, which he said made him feel excluded, then at least give him a big reveal. So technically, we do have a reason for this decision. But the mystery that keeps me up at night is what was the reasoning behind it? What kind of response they thought they were going to get? Number 7. In the alternative universe where BTS performed, how successful are they? In 2020, BTS announced the dates for the Map of the Soul tour, which included a secret concert in June 13 and 14. As we know, the entire tour was cancelled because of the pandemic, and we never knew what the mysterious concert was or why it was a surprise. Let's start with the theories. Because of the dates, this seemed to be the master concert they do as part of their anniversary celebrations, and the most popular guess is that this was a concert in Daegu. This is because in their 2020 BBMA Dynamite performance, they showed a list of different destinations. All of these places matched the list of the tour destinations, except for Daegu. So this is probably the mysterious concert. However, the mystery for me is, in the alternative universe where BTS actually went on tour, revealed the location, and performed this concert, where in their music career are they? If the tour was never cancelled, BTS wouldn't have had the chance, the inspiration, or the time to release Dynamite, Butter, Permission to Dance, My Universe, or the entire B album. If they didn't release Dynamite or Butter, they wouldn't have been nominated for the Grammys, so they wouldn't have performed at the Grammys. Without Butter, they wouldn't have gotten the Artist of the Year award. Without Permission to Dance, there would be no Permission to Dance tour. So, no Bora Hegas and no Bora City. If BTS never released the B album, we would have probably never listened to Stay and Blue and Grey from Jungkook and Taeyeon's mixtapes. If BTS never released My Universe, they most probably wouldn't have connected with Coldplay. And who knows, maybe BTS wouldn't have found out that it's not impossible to be a long-lasting group. So honestly, I'm kind of glad we will never get the answer to this mystery.
Man, that's crazy. Yeah, I don't want to know the answer to number 7. They can keep number 7. Y'all got it. Oh man, that's crazy. I think for me, the most important ones that I would want to know. I'm not really too surprised about Jungkook and V mixtapes. Artists do that all the time, where they want to perfect something over and over and over, and then they just get so frustrated, and the songs get old and they delete them. So I'm not really. I think that's a mystery, but I really think that I believe that easily. I think the songs probably got outdated, or they probably just felt like I could do better and just delete it. I could believe that. Now, V being hidden as a member, that's interesting. I wondered that too when I first saw it. When I first learned about it, watching the guides, and people were saying like V wasn't the last member, it was Jimin. I was like, okay, well, if Jimin was the last member, why would they hide him? Then I thought about, because I'm thinking of Taeyeon now. I'm thinking of him now. Like, I was like, okay, well, maybe he's the facial person in the group, him and Jin. So maybe, like, they figured that the girls or people in the fandom would like him the most. So maybe they held him back so that he could be a surprise. And then I was like, well, wait a minute. They didn't have that many fans back then. And it wasn't like they had a big company like she just said. So I'm thinking like, what was the reason for that? And I know everybody gonna say, you know, because again, whenever the company says something, people just jump and believe it. I get it. Look, I get it. Your first thought is, oh, if the guy said it. But listen, I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you guys. I'm gonna give you guys a real, honest BTS thing. Just because someone in a company says something, or just because they give you a political answer one time, it doesn't mean that it's always the answer that you're looking for. It just means that that's the answer that we're giving you now. Because I'm not going to say a lie, because it's technically maybe not a lie. It's more than likely it's the truth. It's just not the full truth. So you have to take companies with a grain of salt. They're going to protect the company, and they're going to protect the brand and the team and the signees and the groups, so whoever. But I will say that it could be a lot of things. Maybe it was a contract negotiation. Maybe that they wasn't all the way sure. Maybe that they was like giving it a trial. I don't know. It could be a million different things. But just because they say that, because like I said, it doesn't really make sense now that I think about it. Like, I never really thought about it that deep until just now. It really don't make sense to just release him last as a surprise. Because you could have used anybody as a surprise. Why not use Jimin as a surprise? Why use him specifically? And again, maybe they thinking like I'm thinking. Maybe they're like, oh no, maybe the people that they had analytically was like, no, he'll be the biggest one attraction wise. I don't know. I don't know, but that's something. It's just something. It's just something fun to think about. The hidden date. To be honest with you, it probably was Daegu. It makes sense. Like I said, if all the other dates match, and then that's the only one, then yeah, most likely that was supposed to be there. And last but not least, before we get up out of here, the one that really, really, really stuck to me was, because I'm still thinking, that Map of the Soul Shadow is really getting to me. See, the Khalid collaboration, that's just whatever to me. I would love to hear Khalid and BTS. That's great, but it's not the most important thing. But that Map of the Soul Shadow and Map of the Soul Ego, that really got me thinking the most. I don't know. You know what? A lot of these things are fun to think about. A lot of these things are, just out of boredom until the next album comes out. But it's crazy because I just wonder. I don't think Khalid was supposed to be on Black Swan anyway. But I do believe Black Swan was supposed to be the first song on Map of the Soul Shadow. And that's why it bothers me, because Black Swan is one of my top 5 songs of all time. And because Black Swan, that's what really got me thinking. Could there have been an album centered around Black Swan and Map of the Soul Shadow? I guess the world will never know. You guys tell me in the comments, man, what do you think about these 7 unsolved BTS mysteries? You tell me which one keeps you up at night. And you also tell me which one was the most important to you. Was it like me? Was it the Map of the Soul Shadow that never happened, or could it never happen with Black Swan being the lead single? Or was it Taehyung? Was it his last to be announced in the group? Or was it the Khalid collaboration? Or was it any of the others? You guys let me know what you think. And let me know if there are just fun mysteries and you just don't care. Because for me, I'm going to be thinking about this all day today. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Always with love. Peace.